Oh, look, a deer. Okay, a lot of people's been asking, how do we pack deer out? How do we debone? How do we do all that? Well, here's the video. This is it. If y'all watch this hunt, then yeah, appreciate it. If not, go back and watch it. Go back and watch the hunt. But I finally made it back in here. I'm fixing to debone this deer, break it down, and pack it out. I'm going to show you kind of what I do. It's very simple process. It's actually, I would almost say it's probably easier than skinning one in a skinning rack. Super simple, super easy, and honestly pretty quick. So I'm going to break down, get me a little drink here, and then get after it. All right, so what you're going to need, or this is what I carry anyway with me. You're going to need a knife. In this case, I got two. This is my, still got blood on it from yesterday, look at there. Mr. Danny Metcalf made me and Jeremy a couple knives. This is what I use for deboning, skinning, hide and stuff. And this right here is what I use for cutting the hide pretty much back and cutting the quarters off and stuff like that. A lot thicker blade, and can get in there and like getting joints and stuff and cut them. It's a lot better knife for that. So I carry two. You don't have to carry two, it's just what I prefer. But these, you know, a good sharpening steel, unless you got knives that you can replace the blades on. A rope with some kind of clip. Got a carabiner on this one, and then some bags. You know, you can use all different kinds of bags. These are just ice bags. I can do a deer with about 5 or 6 of these. Just kind of separate it up. I got the front quarters I put in 2 separate bags, back quarters 2 separate bags, and then I'll put my tenderloins and back straps in a separate bag. That way I kind of got them all separated out. And say if I got a shoulder or something that's real bloodied up from a shot, I can keep it separate from the rest. It's just easy way to do it for me. You can use any kind of bag, contractor bags. You could get, you know, game bags, the white game bags that you can buy that you can throw away, or you can rewash them. There's several different companies make really good game bags, but these right here, cheap, easy. When I get done with them, I throw them away. So simple and easy. But what I'm gonna start out doing anyway, I'm gonna put a little edge on these knives right quick. What I always start doing when I'm cutting the deer is I lay them on one side and I'll take the quarters out. So back quarter, front quarter, leaving the hide on them, and I'll lay them down on the ground, hide down, and then I'll take the back strap out, and then I'll roll them over and do pretty much the exact same thing on the other side. Once I do that and I gotta get the hide off, I'll take that rope that I was talking about with the clip, I'll hang it on a tree, I'll hang the quarter in that clip off the tree, and it's easy to get the hide off. You can keep the meat clean, keep the hair off of it. Real easy way to do it. So yeah, I'm fixing to getting him out of here, so let's do it. All right, so I got 2 of my quarters off right here. Now we got to get the back strap out, and it's really easy. I'll just rip it right down the back right here, and then I'll peel that hide back, and then the back strap be right there in the wide open. Doing it this way, it's just way easier keeping your meat clean, and just real simple to do. So all I'm gonna do is just, like I say, rip it right down there, and then your back strap be there in the wide open, pull it right out. All right, once I peel the hide back, I'll take my little deboning knife, and I'll take, this is like a silver skin, it's like a membrane. And what I do is I'll just barely cut it, and then it'll pull back if I have to. You know, may run it right down that backbone, like so, and then it'll just peel back off of the back strap. It's way easier to do it now than wait and do it. If you process your own meat, it's way easier to do it now than putting it in a cooler and then it getting cold, and then it makes it really hard to peel off after it's been sitting on ice or whatever. But I'll do that, get her back where you can see it good, And then you got a perfect back strap outline. You can pull this back, run your knife right down in there, cut it back from the rib cage. You cut it way back. A lot of people don't realize the back strap runs way further back. A lot of people, when they got it hanging, they'll cut it straight across right here. But you still got a lot of meat right in here you can get. It may not be good for cutting up for steaks or anything, but you can grind it or whatever. But run my knife right down the back strap, or the backbone. Get it cut away. I try to be very easy with this little knife, not hit bones with it, but these blades are so durable and sharp. I don't really worry about it. If I nick it with a bone a little bit, it ain't nothing to hit it with that little sharpening steel for a second, and you're right back going. Yeah, and then we got a back strap. And then just throw her in the bag. Like I say, keep all my back straps and tenderloins in one bag. I call that the good meat. And then all I'm gonna do is flip him over, repeat the process on the other side, and then I'll hang the quarters up, and I'll get the hide cut off of them, and debone and bag them up, and then we'll be done. All right, so broke down, got our quarters. A lot of times what I like to look for on a tree, sometimes you don't have the option, but I like to find one that's kind of leaning. That way when you hang your rope, your quarter ain't like right up against a straight tree. It's kind of laying out away from it. But now that I got it hung up here, I can work with it, and it's up off the ground. It's at, right here, good working level. So I'm not bent over trying to do it and try to keep dirt and stuff off of it. Yes, you're not going to keep these perfectly clean, but it's a lot cleaner than doing it all on the ground. So always remember, when you're cutting hair, is to go inside the skin and cut out. So I'll run her right up. I always like to go on the inside of the leg part, and then I'll just start cutting her off. Alright, now we got the hide off. Fixing to debone it, but I'm going to leave it in one solid chunk. So not super hard to do. If anybody's messed with hindquarters much, or meat in general, there's certain sections that you can find. You can get joints. They're in their own muscle groups, so it's pretty easy to do. A lot of times what I'll do is just start back here, and you can see there's a muscle joint right here. I'll just follow it right down, kind of peel it back, and I'll do that all the way to the bone. As you can see, I haven't cut the meat, I'm just cutting the membrane out in between because it's two different muscle groups. Cut it on down. I cut it down till I find the bone. And definitely be careful too, you don't want to cut this muscle till you get this off, because if you cut this, your tendon in your leg, it'll let loose. Sometimes it'll fall on you. So you do not cut this. This is what you do not want to cut when you're trying to get all the meat off at first. You can cut it off later if you're into eating that. It's good grind meat, whatever, stuff like that. But just kind of follow it on around, come under this joint. You got this roast right here. Some people call it, I call it football roast. Some people call it several different things, but anyway, we got our bone right here. I'm gonna run a knife right down that bone. Bringing it down. You can see nothing but the bone hanging. You're gonna have to be careful when you get it down this low, because you don't want it to fall on the ground like that. So we got it that far. I'm gonna take my bag now, and I'm gonna go ahead and start bagging it up. Sometimes you can't put it all in there at once in these bags. Like I say, depends on what kind of bag you got. Depends on how you need to do it. But some big, if you got big bags, you can just set the whole thing in there with no problem. But in this case, I got to put a little piece of it in there. And then I'm gonna just kind of ease it off, still holding it. There we go, now we're good. Now it's just gonna fall right in there. We're gonna cut it off the rest of the way. And there we go. There's 1/4. Like I say, if anybody's into eating this, you can take that off. Nothing to it. Cut her right there. Cut her down. Good chunk of grinding meat right there. And then I don't get nothing else. That's all I get. But there you have it. Just a repeat process for the other one. And then shoulder is pretty much the same thing. But I'll show you it, and I'll show you how I hang it up. So what we got a shoulder. I'll feel one of these tendons in the leg, and I'll cut in between it and the bone. Make a good notch in there, one that goes all the way through. And then get up here and run my clip through it, and there you go. It is hanging. Throw a slight little edge on this knife, and then pretty much just gonna peel the hide off, and then we'll peel that bone right out of it. All right, got the hide off of it. What I'll do, it's right about there, so I'll cut under this elbow, starting off, cut to it, to the bone, cut up around. Like I say, pretty much same thing. You can section out the bone. There's your bone, a little fin, I guess you could call it. It runs down the shoulder blade. Cut up under here, get you a good chunk. Cut the top out. Good chunk right up here. And then there you have it. Pretty well got about everything off of it you can get. It's worth eating. I never mess with these. There's so many tendons up in there. Ain't no need messing with it. So repeat both of those, and then yeah, pretty much be done. Pack him up and head out. All right, here we are. Everything bagged up. Fixing to load it up in a pack and get out of here. But you know, hope this answered some people's questions and kind of showing y'all how we do it, because this is pretty much how me and Jeremy both do it. He may do something just a little bit different than I do, and I may do something a little different than he does, but pretty much for the most part it's the exact same way. One thing I did forget to mention was how I get the tenderloins out. You know, that's pretty simple. Once I get everything off of the deer, all the quarters and the back strap, I'll just kind of like half gut him where I can get in there and get to them and slip them out pretty easy. Ain't nothing to that. But I'm fixing to load him up and head out of here. So appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Comment. Let me know if this helps some of y'all out, and you know, maybe y'all will use it one day. I'm telling you, it's one of the best ways to get a deer out. For one thing, you don't have to get him out, and then you don't have to go to a skinning shed, whether you got one or a buddy or whatever you got to go to, and then clean him. Well, then you got to turn around, you got to haul him off after that. So it's just a super simple way to do it. I'm done with the deer. I haven't had to drag him. It's way easier to pack one out on your back than it is to drag, especially up hills and stuff. So hey, I'm gonna head out. So appreciate it. We'll see y'all next time.